invite her and welcome her, and so she's gonna tell us about what she's been doing with the Mi'kmaq language. So here's Liwini.
Liwini, thank you. Go ahead. I'm very honored to be here. First off, I just have to say thank you for inviting me and welcoming me to your land and your territory. And I'm very grateful that my mother and my grandmother could be here because they're my teachers and they're the reason why I have my talk still to this day. So it's such a pleasure to be here. And just a little bit about me. I'm Mi'kmaq tribe. I'm from Elsipogtog, New Brunswick. Anyone been there before? Elsipogtog? Some of you? Okay, awesome. So it's the biggest Mi'kmaq community in New Brunswick. So it's the largest in population and size. And I grew up with a single mom, and she was adamant on teaching me English to get out there and be successful in the world. But I still had growing up with my mom, she's fluent, and my grandmother also having that, around me really helped me. But as I went to college and, lived off reserve and stuff, I was losing my language a bit. And so I remember I was spending some time in like another native Mi'kmaq community, and you know how we've been talking about like there's different dialects, right? Like of Mi'kmaq or Penobscot or Maliseet, like there's just different talks in different regions. That's what happens because we're not all from the same territory, we're not all from the same community. And so I actually was spending a lot of time in one community, and I heard like it was a very strong Mi'kmaq speaking community, and I wanted to learn more of the language. But instead I was getting teased a lot, and I was getting like, they were making fun of me, and like anytime I would talk, like they were saying that everything I was saying was wrong. And I was like, what? Like this is how I grew up, like I grew up with my Mi'kaju, which I honor my elders so much, and my mom. And so, and I kind of just stopped speaking. I wouldn't speak in that community anymore because I felt like every time I was going to speak, I was getting made fun of. And so I just felt like every time I spoke up, it just didn't feel good enough for them. And so I was feeling like really confused, like, what do I do with my language? And then like I was always going to youth conferences and stuff, and then people would always talk about the language. You always hear like, our language is dying, what are we gonna do, And I just get so sick of hearing it, like I get sick of talk, like let's act then, we always talk too much, like we talk in these meetings, blah, 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 nothing's getting done, let's do it. So then finally one day I was just like, you know what, like, cause I'm on my phone a lot. Who's on your phone a lot? Raise your hand. Who's on your phone a lot? I'm on my phone a lot. And like before nighttime, I'm always like looking at my feeds, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. And even in the morning, like after I pray, then I'll check my feeds and see what's going on and spread some positivity out there. And so sometimes like I just want to say a word in Mi'kmaq, or I want to like know what a word is in Mi'kmaq. And I was thinking this before I started this movement, I was thinking like, I wish there was like a hashtag where you could just click and then all the words will be there. Like I had the honor to teach Mi'kmaq classes in Bear River, Nova Scotia. Anyone been to Bear River? Bear River, Nova Scotia? Yeah? Cool. Nice community, hey? Yeah, really nice people, beautiful. Yeah, I had the honor to teach Mi'kmaq there, and my students, they're the ones who told me, why don't you do videos, like to teach the language, since you're always doing videos about positive stuff. They're like, why don't you just share the language too? And honestly, I was a little bit hesitant at first because I know that there's a lot of different variations of the Mi'kmaq language, different dialects, and so I was just like, I don't want to deal with like all these people being like, you're saying it wrong, And then I was like, but you know what? That's the oppressors, and that's what they want. That's what the enemy wants, is for us to not speak our language and for us to not share our language anymore. So if we all think like that, we're gonna really lose our language, right? So I was like, you know what? I gotta rise above. I gotta toughen up. I gotta just be brave and do it. So I started to do it, and then people started to really like it, and they were like, wow, they're so grateful. And I started in this winter, so it's still pretty new. And now it's the summertime, and like I think when I started it, I think I had like 1,000 friends on Facebook when I started. Now I have 3,000 friends on Facebook, and a lot of followers, and it's like really crazy because it's like people are waiting for your next move all the time. But at the same time, it's really beautiful because I have like people from Arizona who are Mi'kmaq, like half Mi'kmaq, half Latino. And then I have like a person in Utah, person in Hawaii, like all over the states, Florida, that are like, look, I'm half Mi'kmaq, and I never had, like my dad died who's Mi'kmaq, and I have no connection to the family. You're the only link I have. And I'm like, whoa, all right, I'm gonna keep going, Like I just feel like there's so many people now that are like relying on this movement to help them keep their culture alive. And like when I involve people in the movement, like it's me and elders or youth, or like, because I travel a lot, so I like to involve people in the movement because it helps people to learn other, old ways, right? Like especially the elders, like when they say like Mindu Jugalasi, like devil get out of here, like all these little sayings that other generations were brought up with.